We'll look into a scenario in which South Africa forms an empire. And well, not long into this, they annexed Lesotho and Eswatini. And well, 2 annexations already. But now for war with Botswana. And they don't think they're going to have any problem with this. Which is true, they won't. But we'll give them trouble. As they advance in from the south. Quickly advancing in. Creating an area to advance from. They make one encirclement, and they decide to advance here. Where's Botswana's capital? And also, what is it? I forgot. When I look at this. Let's say it's over here. No, it's probably not. Just go until they give up. With Botswana going right behind lines like this somehow and over here. Managing to cause a big retreat. And then they push to the border. And then South Africa launches an advance over here and completely moves that front. With them causing a movement of forces, but managing to capture most of them. Leading to the surrender of Botswana. Well, of course it was going to happen eventually. There was no way it wouldn't have happened. Now to go to Zimbabwe, which has no chance. I'm certain it has no chance. Unless South Africa's actually does this like Italy. Yeah, maybe they're just like Italy. Italy was not great. And they also weren't great at either. They weren't great at being great in many ways. With Botswana surrendering. And honestly, I kind of like the borders. Well, they decide to advance into Zambia. With the goal of taking over half of this nation. Why only half, you may ask? Well, because, yeah. They don't plan on expanding into the Democratic Republic of Congo. Quickly, they managed to do this. And with these encirclements, a few surrenders happened, leading to them only over here. Which is kind of luck, because realistically, they're always encircled if you think of it. Now for the peace. Namibia, which they quickly pull ahead in this war. Quickly, they pull ahead. And they launch offensives everywhere. With South Africa having like a 0% chance of it. Well, they advance in from all front. And they get slowed down significantly by the strong defensive amount of this nation. More than they thought. But they still had enough forces to continue this. Well, these 2 areas, they move troops out to move them to the north. And I'm pretty sure that's where the capital is. No, it's not on the coast. It's not. I think it's in the center. Well, let's annex Namibia. Yes, we annexed Namibia to South Africa. I'm sure Namibia wouldn't mind if that happened in real life. No, I'm kidding. They probably would. Nobody likes to be occupied. Well, I assume nobody does. Who does? Maybe some nations did. But I can't imagine most nations did. Some nations wanted to be occupied. Well, now to slow down. Because, well, Mozambique kind of expected it to happen. So, well, the advance against them wasn't a big surprise. as they go around this front. And they cut the nation in half. And they advance here, with the North and South ending up surrendering, realizing they had no chance. They weren't necessarily going to. But they ended up... Ew. Mosquito. Yeah. And then they... And well... I think I got that bug. I don't know. And now back to the video. Because that was a short detour. And well, they annexed most of it. I declare war on all mosquitoes. Yes, I think that's a good one. But that's not going to be possible. And well, that area of Angola is like, Angola, we're out of this. With Angola struggling in the south. Struggling. Oh yeah, Angola's capital is on the coast, I think. Is it on, maybe? I don't know. Well, they advance all the way to here. In the initial invasion. Now, it's time for them to be slowed right down. By Angola's forces, because I think Angola would have no chance to make a counteroffensive, but they're definitely capable of fighting. Now, if this was a normal South Africa, I guess, and wasn't increased in strength for this video, yeah. With an encirclement being pulled off, which ended up being destroyed with nothing escaping. Because in an encirclement, you can either escape, surrender, or, well, get destroyed. You don't have much choice. With them advancing all the way here, which is about where the capital is of this nation, I believe. Well, then they surrender, yay. Well, for South Africa, yeah. But for Angola, oh no. And they basically lost all of the southern part of their nation and decided to join the part that left them, yes. They can get in charge, I guess. Well, as you can see, the South Africa Empire occupies all of South Africa. Therefore, it's the South Africa Empire. Now, I know I've made a South Africa Empire before, and it was much bigger. But I feel like this is a more, well, realistic empire size. They could expand more past this if they need to in the future. And well, that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out. And not only subscribe,